Let's see, Virgo. In the past position, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. It's almost like you didn't really know what to say in a particular situation in your life. So you could have just been kind of going with the flow. Maybe in regard, I was going to say between you and another person, the Two of Cups. Maybe there wasn't really much that needed to be said. It seems like there was love there, despite whether or not there was actual communication. The King of Pentacles reverse. Could have been a little bit of instability in regards to finances, or maybe there was love in a situation, but unfortunately it wasn't grounded enough to make something with it. Okay, so yes, there's a lot of love, but we don't have a foundational structure. What could that mean? Our morals and our values don't align. Maybe it's that we actually haven't committed to one another, etc. If you're not this King of Pentacles reverse, then that King of Pentacles reverse can represent somebody who was maybe using you in some way or just was a stingy and stubborn, essentially. The Oracle card that you have for the past position is Ignite Ambition. Pursue desires with drive and face consequences bravely. Keep an open mind as answers reveal your journey. So maybe that's how you felt. Maybe you had a lot of ambition here in the past position. Whether or not that flame died, we'll obviously have to see. In the current and present position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So you're clearly, working on something. You're working on something, you're invested in it, you're trying to take your time, but you can maybe feel like the results that you want aren't coming fast enough. Okay. So you could be growing a little impatient, but like you're still there, you're still showing up. Page of Cups reversed. Okay. Uh, it's interesting because in the past position, you were kind of feeling the emotional side of life a little bit, but you may not really be feeling that right now. You may not be interested in being vulnerable or opening up in a way that is like romantic, etc. The Tower reversed. Virgo, whatever it is that you are refusing to change or that you're having a hard time letting go of, that's what's killing your vibe. So if you are holding on to animosity, or if you're feeling like a victim, or if you're feeling there's some kind of emotional feeling that you have that is related to the thing that you're unwilling to let go of. I think that you still have an emotional investment here, and I think it's kind of setting you back 5 paces. We have hold your vision. This is making me feel, this is fixed moon energy. Some of you could have a fixed moon, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Um, I feel like you guys are really stuck on making something work because you're still invested in it. But we'll see. Let's see. You have the Six of Cups in the future position. The Six of Cups, that's good. You have somebody who has your back, is really what it comes down to. Somebody who's trying to give something to you, share something with you, maybe trying to be the shoulder that you want to cry on, etc. The Lover's reversed. It could be that someone is trying to take something to the next level with you, but you're like, yeah, no, not really there for that. It can also be that this is just a friend, and there's a friend who's helping you make a decision. There's a friend who's trying to help you talk about your problems and work through your problems. The Page of Pentacles reverse. I heard don't get complacent. If you take too long to make a decision, honestly, you may end up not cashing out. If you take too long to make a decision, you could find yourself in a sucky situation where things are being delayed. You're creating missed opportunities for yourself. So let's see what the oracle card for that is. Saturn. Don't learn the hard way. Virgo, please. Don't learn the hard way. I know it's been difficult with Saturn in your opposite sign and kind of opposing whatever Virgo placements you've had or whatever, but just try not to learn the hard way. I feel like there's an easier way to go about something. Not that the easy way is always the best way. But. All right, tell me about. Oh my goodness, give me a whole half a deck. All right, tell me about that Knight of Swords reversed. The Eight of Wands reversed. Yeah, you seem to. Oh. So as stated before, okay, we have this Ignite Ambition card. Now, this is a very fiery card, and you see on the other side of that is flames of passion, okay? I think that you may, now reverse it if you need to, but you may have said something because you were triggered. You may have felt very passionate about something that you believed in, or you may have honestly, if I'm being real, you may have had a reaction that you would regret later. Okay. And the reason why I say regret is because you have the Seven of Swords reversed. Seven of Swords reversed can talk about a guilty conscience. And so feeling bad about what was said, feeling bad about allowing yourself to get so triggered. And it could have been around an emotional connection. Okay. You also, for some of you, if it's not necessarily that, it could be that you were too lackadaisy. You were too much of going with the flow of things, instead of maybe putting your foot down, and now you feel guilt because you screwed yourself over. Honestly. So let's see that Two of Cups. Because, and it could have been because you were so passionate about someone or a job or whatever. Maybe you let your boss talk to you in any kind of way, or you let a partner talk to you in any kind of way, you know. Tell me why the Two of Cups is here in the past position for Virgo. The Two of Wands reverse. It could have just felt like a connection really wasn't going anywhere. It's like that Two of Cups. It's lovely and it's beautiful, and we're harmonizing and we're happy and we understand each other, you know, for the most part. There's a deep soul connection here. Unfortunately, the Two of Wands is reversed, which kind of makes me feel like you weren't really sure what to do about this particular person. You may have found yourself sticking to what you already knew in regards to connections in your life because maybe it felt safe. And that's what happens like when we pick safety. And it's not always even necessarily safe. It's just, you know, sometimes we think that the devil that we know is better than the devil that we don't, which is not always the case, right? King of Wands, the Star, because I truly believe that you had so much hope in a situation that really meant a lot to you. Okay. Maybe it was a best friend, maybe a lover, whatever. But you had a lot of hope because there was a lot of attraction. There was a lot of attraction. This person may have brought like this childlike kind of wonder out of you, and you felt like you could share a lot with them, and they gave you some level of hope. I mean, there had to have been for you to stick around, right? Let's see that King of Pentacles reversed. The Nine of Wands reversed. This is when, you know, something is being held on by a thread because there's no real stability. There's no real continuity. It's maybe even destructive with that Nine of Wands reverse. It's this feeling of fighting a losing battle, having a lot of paranoia about where the future is going in a business situation, in a romantic relationship. um just feeling off your rocker a little bit, you know, to be honest. And I feel like there may have been lack of boundaries. Like, if you are that King of Pentacles reversed, honestly, you could have been taking advantage of somebody else's lack of boundaries, you know. But if you're not that King of Pentacles reversed, then it's the other way around, obviously. Because it's like I think there may have been an opportunity for a new path with that Ace of Cups, but that Six of Swords reverse tells me that we keep going back to, you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of where, like, let's say you start dating somebody, and then after 6 months, it's like maybe that person isn't really who they were in the beginning, or, you know, and you keep trying to chase that. You keep trying to chase that passion. You keep trying to chase what was, and like it just never is, you know? That's kind of what it felt like to me. Even if it was like a business, you could have been like, oh God, maybe you were so passionate about it in the beginning and now you're just like, I'm just doing this for a paycheck, or, and really it's just exhausting because you're not passionate about it anymore, whatever that may be for you. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the present position. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. What's going on here? Oh, I just don't need all those. The Two of Swords reversed. There's a realization that you have to make a decision on what the hell you're spending your time on. Can I get a little bit more clarity? What's the investment around? The High Priestess reverse. Are you like, this reminds me of somebody who stays in a marriage because that's what their parents are telling them to do. Somebody who stays at a job because that's what their friends are telling them is good for them. Sometimes the High Priestess reverse can be where we're listening to other people's guidance instead of what our inner voice is trying to tell us. Um, And so whatever that may be, like maybe it's something in regards to spirituality or the occult. Um, but you kind of gotta, if I'm being frank, you gotta shit or get off the pot on this one. And I think that that because you're like, I can't really avoid this anymore. You feel like just something is not growing in the way that maybe you want. What's the guidance for this? Three of Swords. Cut your losses is what I want to say. Okay, I'm not telling you like if this is college for you to quit college or anything like that, but there's something where it's like you just need to cut your losses on something. Tell me about that Page of Cups reversed. The Three of Wands. But why is the Page of Cups reversed though? The Eight of Cups. Okay. Well, there was something that kind of harshed your mellow a little bit. Somebody pissed in your Cheerios, you had to walk away from something because you knew it just wasn't right for you. It's like you may have been trying to like hold everything together in a particular like relationship with a parent, maybe it was a relationship with a partner, and you kind of got to a point you were like, oh man, I can't do it. I can't do it, and maybe that's something that you're still thinking about. But like with the Three of Wands being here, because you realized that something wasn't real, or like at least you felt like it wasn't real. And so now you're at this point where maybe you're even feeling victimized by somebody that walked away from you. That can be it as well. But that Three of Wands tells me that you're ready to expand. You're ready to make your own happiness, right? Jupiter's retrograde right now. So Jupiter's asking us to kind of make our own luck a little bit. Yeah, Six of Wands, the Hangman reverse. It's almost like something is stopping you from putting yourself out there in the way that you want. Because I think you're having a hard time like surrendering to the past a little bit. But you want to be seen. You want to be seen, or you want to be noticed, or you want some level of attention. I don't know why people have such like a stigma around attention. Like, what is wrong with getting a little bit of attention? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Leos would agree, or Sagittarius is even. There's nothing wrong with getting a little attention, or even really wanting to be rewarded for your efforts. There's nothing wrong with that. Tell me about the Tower reversed for the current position for Virgo. The Emperor. Oof. Yeah, it's definitely feeling like you got to cut your losses. Six of Swords, Judgment reversed. It's like something just can't come back right now. Like you just can't revisit something, or you can't keep going in this direction that you've been, because it's not even really like I don't want to say it's not part of your path anymore, but it's kind of like run its course, let's say. And I think that Tower reversed is like you're still holding on to something that wasn't even stable in the first place. And the Emperor is going to ask us to put our feelings aside sometimes and be like, you have to do this for you. You have to do XYZ for your family. You have to do this for your marriage. You have to, and so The Emperor is not going to allow any kind of petty feelings, or like, the best way I can explain the Emperor is like, imagine that, let's say you're a dude, and let's say you're a married dude, okay, and you're married to a woman. And let's say you and your woman get in like a huge fight, and right now you just like can't stand her. You hate her, right? You end up going to the bar or whatever, and some other woman hits on you. And you can either respond and act on it, right? And give in to this level of lack of morality or immoral, whatever. And we've all been there at some point in one way or another. Or you can be like, nope, I still have to honor my commitment regardless of how I'm feeling right now in the situation. That can kind of be explained with the Emperor, in my opinion. Okay. Um, so yeah. Well, let's look at that Six of Cups for the future position. Tell me about the Six of Cups in the future position for Virgo. King of Wands reversed. Well, it looks like a connection from the past. It seems like it's a very vulnerable connection. Okay, you may not be so confident in it, especially with that Saturn Oracle card here. Things could feel a little awkward or a little restricted, and it can be because of somebody else's ego. Now, I don't know if that's yours or this person's. You're showing up a lot as masculine. You're showing up as a masculine person a lot. So I'm wondering if maybe you're a man, okay? Or maybe a woman with strong masculine energy, but um, it can be that there's a reconnection, okay? Or you're with somebody who's trying to get you to, they're trying to like bring out the honest, authentic you, not like the ego part of you, like the honest, authentic you. What's the guidance for this? The Ten of Swords reverse. It's kind of like saying whatever ending or betrayals or whatever that has occurred, it's kind of time to evolve. The Ten of Swords reverse is like, okay, what have you learned from this? It's time to apply it. Okay, this happened. Now it's time to evolve. This is supposed to force you to evolve. This is supposed to encourage evolution in you. So I want to say, like, get back in touch with your inner child. And I also want to say, like, you don't have to act confident about things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to pretend to be confident. You don't have to like pretend to know things. Like, sometimes it's okay just to be. I think the most attractive thing about a person, and again, I'm a Venus and Scorpio, so, but I think the most attractive thing about a person is when they can be truly authentically vulnerable with it, with another person, or even with themselves, and like just being totally honest with how they feel, what they know, what they don't know, how they got here. That's so sexy. You know what I'm saying? Not that you're trying to be sexy, but because I think this is like, again, that loss that I told you that you had to cut, you may have cut it in some way, but you could still be attached to the loss. But it's asking you to change. Tell me about that Lovers reversed for the future position for Virgo, please. The Nine of Pentacles reverse. I just don't like, for a lot of you, you're really not ready for a relationship. Okay. So even if you're in a relationship, I don't want to tell you that you're not ready, but that Lovers reverse and the Nine of Pentacles reverse, the Nine of Pentacles reverse can be an incredible codependence. And it can't even be a codependence around a situation or a romantic relationship that is totally unrequited anyway. Like something is totally misaligned, but it's almost like you're trying to force it anyway. You're trying to force the square into the star shape or whatever, or you're trying to tell yourself a lie about why something didn't work out or whatever. And again, I think it's about you just needing to be vulnerable, because it may be making you question like your value, or how much you have to offer, and you could end up feeling like you don't have enough to offer, and then you end up off like over giving or offering too much or making promises you can't necessarily keep. What about that Page of Pentacles in the future position for Virgo? The the Four of Swords reversed. Oh man, I feel like you guys are really delaying your healing. At the end of the day, this is what you're needing to incorporate. There you are, the Hermit, the Strength and the Hermit. You have got right, like right now, especially in the future position, but like why not get started now, right? But you have really you need to find strength in self. You need to find your strength through some level of isolation just for a little bit. Because you're needing to kind of regroup and just be honest with yourself. You're needing to be passionate again about the things that you've been passionate about, where it seems like it was lost here in the past. Because I think that you have a vision, and I think that you owe it to yourself to achieve that vision or whatever it is, but it's going to take work. And sometimes that means some hardcore work on yourself and by yourself. Okay. So I love you, Virgo. Best of luck. Bye for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at www.violettaalexis.com. If you would like to book a scheduled session with me or text and or call spontaneously, you can do so at hipsy.com/violettaalexis. All of that information can be found in the description box below or in the pinned comment in the chat. Thanks a lot, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great mid-October.